Nothing says I love you to my stomach than a good aperitivo or an aperitif, so to speak. I'm going to go for the gold today and try to review 5 of these in on one video. And I might just have a surprise up my trick for later. Okay, so Saint Germain is pretty much like they call it the bartender's ketchup, meaning they put it in almost everything just to kind of give a little bit of flavor to everything. Here's what it looks like. Here's what the bottle looks like, right? Here's what it looks like in the glass. It's kind of clear with like a little yellow tint to it. I've got ice in every single one of these just to show you. The smell that I'm getting, capers. That's actually the smell that I'm getting. A very faint caper kind of smell. Even though this is made with, I believe, elderberries, they're picked at like peak ripeness, which is like a week or something like that, something ridiculous like that. But that's what I'm getting off of this. Is it smells like a sweet, lighter version of like a caper without the briny, bitter sourness to it or whatever. That's what it smells like. Okay, this one threw me for a loop. This is the Dom Benedictine. A lot of people were saying like orange this and orange that. Let me smell it and see what happens. I'm kind of getting not really like a punch, like, oh my God, it's orange or anything like that. It just kind of smells like a floral kind of a note to it. So I don't know, when we taste it, we'll see what happens. Okay, Italicus. This is basically like a bergamot type drink. It was an old ancient recipe that I guess this company turned into something new, and I'm not sure how new, maybe like 50, 60, 100 years ago, who knows. But you do smell the bergamot right off the bat. Yeah, like when I opened up the bottle, that's what I was getting, was like the bergamot smell, and it's very light and floral and nice. This one also threw me for a loop, the Gran Classico. I thought this was made in Italy, but actually I believe it's Switzerland. So the Swiss, God bless you for making this, because I'll explain why in a minute. But the scent that I'm getting from this is, it's kind of strange. It doesn't fit into one of my usual categories. Like, it's not a cola, it's not an herbal, it's not a citrus, it's not a chocolate or coffee. It's kind of like maybe all of those if you mixed and matched them, but no one particular scent that like punches you and says, okay, this is what it is just off of the nose. This one, the Ramazzotti, this is a different version. This one is the Rosato version. What hit me right off the bat was definitely the hibiscus. Like, that's what happened when I open up the bottle and I give it a good sniff. Also, I guess it kind of has like that rosé wine, like very subtle, even though I'm not even sure if this is wine based or not. I don't even know. I think it's a liqueur, but I believe it's just like a high grain alcohol that they infuse and then they add like sugar to it or whatever. But this one definitely had that hibiscus. Yeah, hibiscus and like just a very, very faint amount of like citrusy kind of notes to it. If they're saying orange blossom, okay, God bless them. So anyways, I never taste these as is. I always put some soda water in them. In this case today is San Pellegrino, which it usually is. So I'm going to go ahead and top these off with a little San Pellegrino. And just a little bit in there. A little bit in there. The Gran Classico. Like I said, I thought this was Italian, but apparently it's a product of Switzerland, which is great. I mean, the Swiss are very nice. You know, Toblerone, can't beat that. Swiss Miss, hot chocolate. Anyways, just saying. Okay, Saint Germain, let's go for the gold. So this is supposed to be elderberry, the bartender's ketchup and all that stuff. Let's see what it tastes like. That's what it looks like with the San Pellegrino in there. It's kind of clearish, right? It cleared out a little bit. So let's see what it tastes like. Very fruity. Okay, now I taste that elderberry. So that caper smell has gone away. And the taste is very like fruity, elderberry, not very sweet, but just, it's got a sweetness to it. It's not bitter at all. It's just a sweet thing. It's that missing flavor probably when you've had a drink in the past. You're like, what is that fruit? Like, you're trying to pinpoint. It's not a plum. It's not a pear. It's a little bit like on the pear side, I guess. But like elderberry, that's kind of what it tastes like to me. Maybe like pear and like just a touch of plum. That's good. That's really, really good. So just on its own, it's really good. Okay, the Dom Benedictine. Let's see what this one smells and tastes like now. Okay. Oh yeah, orangey. Okay, definitely. So it's orangey with like a little bit of herbal to it. Like not much though. When I say herbal, it kind of has like those grassy notes, like a little bit of brightness. Not as bright as like say like an Aperol would be, but it's definitely got that oranginess. Very good, very very tasty. Not maybe like a touch of bitter, but not. It's not really like a bitter. It's not meant to be bitter. I think the bitter that I'm getting is just the alcohol. There seems to be a lot of alcohol in here. So this is definitely sweeter than this one was for sure. Okay, let's go for the bergamot. Let's see how this one smells and tastes. Bergamot. It's very much like bergamot with just notes of citrus, like notes of like maybe lime and lemon, just like a touch of that, maybe like a little bit of like the peel of like, you know, a lime, like if you took a peel of lime or lemon, actually more lemon, and you just twisted it and then put it in the glass, that's what it tastes like mixed with bergamot. Very light, very crisp, very refreshing, very nice. Neither sweet nor whatever. I didn't detect any bitterness at all. I gotta get another one of this because this is good. And I'm slurping as I'm sipping, by the way. Yeah, very nice, light, clean, refreshing. That's a good one. So sweet, not as sweet as this one. This one's definitely orangey. Remember, this one is bergamot and like just like notes, like the foreground is the bergamot. The background is like a very, very light lime kind of flavor. So that's a good one. Okay, Gran Classico. This is the one that threw me for a loop. I couldn't quite pinpoint what it was. Ooh, that's good. That's good. It's kind of like a diluted cola, right? With like notes of citrus in the background maybe. It's definitely bitter. So now we're going to introduce that bitterness, but very mild though. Like it's more bitter on the back end. So the front end, oh, this is a complex one. Okay. Okay. Maybe, oh my God, that's just good. That's just so good. Yeah, so what hits you first when you take it in is like a very light cola. Like even lighter than the Amaro di Toscano I did yesterday in yesterday's video. So it's got a very light cola, but it's not like a punch like, oh my God, this is cola. No. It's got a very light cola in the beginning. Then you get a little bit of like that herbal kind of note vibe going on, right? Like deep, like all those herbs that you would think of in the low-lying, not the high herbal, like not the pine. It's not pine. It's not licorice. By the way, none of these taste like licorice so far, by the way, just in case you were curious. They don't have that sambuca-ness to them. No, and I hate that anyways. But no, this is like, I'm speechless. This one is like light cola in the beginning, a little bit of that herbal in the middle, right? Kind of like that. If you want to think of like that Aperol, or not Aperol, sorry, that Cynar 70 kind of cola-ness, and then not as strong as like the Amaro di Toscano or Toscana. It's kind of like a little bit less lighter cola than that, but it's like complex and it's deep and there's a lot going on in there. So that's how I would describe this one. Okay, saved the Rosato for last, because I think this is close to something that I'm going to tell you about in a second. But let me go ahead and smell and taste this one. Yep, hibiscus. Definitely smelling the hibiscus. And then, oh God, that's nice. Oh, that is so nice. It's fruity. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's sweeter than Aperol. So if Aperol was like more on the bitter end, this one is... It's got sweetness to it. Like I would drink this straight up as is. Like no joke. I mean, this one, and this one I think would make a great cocktail, which is what I'm going to do here in a second. But wow, that is absolute. I'm so happy I got this yesterday at Total Wine. By the way, Total Wine, if you're watching this video, hook me up, because they're not sponsoring me right now. But if they want to go ahead and like talk to me about some sponsorship opportunities or whatever, Total Wine, hey, I'm in with you. Okay, so I'm not in you, I'm in with you. That's what she said. Okay, so anyways, I gotta taste this one again because this is good. That is so good. So I am getting like a sweet rose water kind of a vibe to it. I'm getting a fruitiness, kind of like a mixed fruit grab bag of like all of those nice mild ones. It's kind of like where it's got like the pear, going on a little bit, like that pear, elderberry, rose petal, like very sweet, not very, sorry, didn't mean to say that, but it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet or anything. It's not like a syrup. I mean, this is like a liquidy liquid. None of these are syrupy, by the way, just for the record. They're all pretty like liquidy, like in terms of viscosity. But this one has, what hits me right off the bat is that hibiscus, rose petal, there's almost like a little bit of pear in there, like almost like a lychee, and it's fantastic. Anyways, I will be back with a further video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix and match some of these, and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button down there below. I'm the old Coupe. I hope this video helps some of you out there, and I will catch you all in the next exciting video.